as usual, the dwarves are the problem. Oh, right. Hmm. Let's make some crab cakes, which are somewhere. I don't know where they are. I don't know what they look like. Oh, they're there. That's going to be our primary food from when we're out and about. Probably insulted Gum Gum. Most likely. I'm debating what other food to make here to bring with. There's some pretty basic stuff, but let's make some vegetable stew. And some eggplant plum chip. There we go. Okay. I mean, mine was FF14, but I don't think anybody's surprised by that act. Okay. My boy. Someday this galaxy sword will be yours. My wife, sometime this galaxy sword will not be yours. You probably shouldn't have this. Just double checking. Oh, hello. We have finished getting some stuff. That was cool. Well, that should be a little bit of money. Yeah, that's cool. Thanks. 32 iridium strawberry wine. Actually, hang on. I don't know if I'll ever need an iridium wine, and considering how long that takes, let's just save a couple. Just in case. Last thing I want is to be like, you need iridium wine to progress. And I'll be like, well, that'll take me another 7 weeks in-game. Mine's like MMOs and then builders. And that's kind of it. Star Trek Online and FF14, I play both on Steam, and I have done a full lore run / review of both of them this year. So, not what I would call surprising. Oh, the pumpkins are ready. A lot of stuff's ready, actually. Like, seriously, the graph was so slanted, it wasn't really... It was like, you've played MMOs, and then 2% of your time you spent playing other games, and I'm like, yeah, okay. It's one of those meaningless charts because the data is so skewed, you know? Whatever. Have some pumpkins. And some grapes. And a diamond. Some more. And... we're done with Sandy. Which is weird to me. Yeah. Nothing lies like statistics. Yeah, when I'm going to be showing off the end of the year stuff for Star Trek, for TOS, TAS, and ENT, I'm actually going to show several different variations on the stats, just to try and get as complete of a picture as possible. Is there a meaningful difference between fridge and the chest? There is one major difference. Anything in a fridge counts for cooking. And it. So there's a festival on right now. So in other words, I put food in the fridges in order to be able to cook with it. The only reason I'm even doing this is there might be something I care about buying. I don't think there is. There isn't. Okay, bye. Bye. And it's the end of the night. Penny's already asleep. She had fun at the fair, so I'm happy for her. It's not as much money as I was hoping for, but that's okay. That's okay. No, Trihexia, why would anybody be willing to live in such a place? I've talked before that there's literal, tangible health benefits for entertainment, and how boredom is actually a legitimately, terrifyingly dangerous thing for the mind. So why in God's name would you ever willingly live in a place where you cannot entertain yourself? I can see you unwillingly living in such a place. That's a bit different. Since we're here, just checking the things. Okay. Damn. That's freaking. Thank you, G. Cormos. I'll jot that down for the Urquan Masters. Hopefully Walker won't show up right now, because that would be very embarrassing. Neither, Caspian. In fact, it is specifically weighted that the two need to be as close to each other as possible. So, the more it is slanted in one direction or another, the more the score suffers. Anyways, thank you very, very much, Walker. Always. I'll put that towards dealer's choice. There's all sorts of stuff finishing, and I don't care. We're going to the island. Going to the island. You know one of my favorite things? This is, of course, sarcasm. There's something called the slippery slope fallacy. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's an incorrect argument that incorrectly uses logic to try and argue that if you do something bad, then you will do something worse pretty much automatically. Usually by indicating you'll do something very worse. One crab. I'm actually going to go ahead and bother to pick up that one crab. The rest of that can just kind of saw it off. Gregory, I think, is what my niece named this horse. By the way, hi, Honorable Magnus. The reason I mentioned that how much I am amused by that terrible, terrible fallacy is because of how often I see people use it with total logic. Like, what I mean, words, with total sincerity. A lot of people, I've noticed, seem to think that when you say the sunk cost, that it's a logical progression, not that it's a fallacious argument. Like, I cannot tell you how many times someone will be like, oh, what do you think about this, Lord? And I'll say, well, I think this. And they're like, well, but what about if it gets in there? And then they'll say, oh my god, it could descend into this horrible horribleness. And I'm like... And oftentimes they will quote, literally just actually say, the sunk cost, or not the sunk cost, sorry, the slippery slope by name. I close my eyes for half a second, I get jumped by a slime. It's bonkers to me. mean, honestly, if I just pulled out a list of all of the... Oh, jeez. Game? Okay, okay. Of all of the logical fallacies, and there is a freaking list, you'd probably recognize all of them. Because people use them all the time. Okay, that's not good. I'm not really on a timer, so we're just going to take this nice and slow. Make sure I read that journal page. I mean, that's a bit of an extreme example, Blade Jabal, but yeah. That's pretty much exactly it. I like this music. That's new. I know I'm being boring, but I'm just kind of being nice and cautious here. I'm about to go fight a slime. Okay. Okay. Not sure what to do about that. Oh, Jesus. Because it wouldn't let me hit the button. Okay, so. Oh, crab cake. So there's a button somewhere. Probably the button I was just staring at. Not sure how to press said button. God damn it. Does anybody know how to hit these buttons? Okay. To Google. I'm stuck. Apparently, you're just supposed to walk over them. Huh. Okay. Apparently that's purely decorative. And this is the button? Oh my god, game. You're fired. Thoughts on Thai food? Yeah, it's okay. I mean, if you give me a choice between Thai or Indian, I'll take Indian. Or Thai and good Chinese, I'll take good Chinese. Granted, good Chinese is kind of hard to come by. I'll probably take Thai over bad Chinese, but I do actually rather enjoy bad Chinese. That sounds like a joke. It's not. So, real talk, I thought you meant voice acting, Gum Gum. I was going to ask for some clarification on that. But if you're asking whether or not the Empire treats its citizens like crap, in any direction, pretty sure you can guess the answer to that without me telling you. American Chinese, preferably. I actually don't like Chinese. Grab that while we're here. Okay, so let's refill. The veteran assassination. Sorry. No. Okay. More water. Round 2. It's okay, Act. Now give me some good beef pho. That'll be all over. Preferably very spicy. Yeah, why wouldn't they, Gum Gum? Apparently tracks, yeah. Whoops. No. See, I'm really weird. You might say, you like... Ow! You might say you like, oh, you like Indian food, but I actually don't like Indian food. I like some individual Indian dishes. Which, if you know anything about me, probably doesn't surprise you at all. This guy sucks. Oh, I don't like that guy at all. What, do you kill someone to solve their depression? Generally speaking, killing someone doesn't really solve their depression. It kind of bypasses the issue. I know that's shocking. I heard you up there. I do not like these higher level ones. I don't like these things in general. I don't like any bug or bat style enemy, to be completely honest with you. Hey, one thing this game will not get a positive for. Enemy variety or enemy design. Whatever. Okay. Just gonna chill here for a moment. Let the debuff wear off. Kill this guy very slowly. Not anymore, Ect. There was this one pho place, this little hole in the wall place. Had the best pho. Holy crap. Nice and steady. Although it's almost midnight, but we actually are in a huge hurry here. Yep, I know, game. Okay, so. Hit these buttons and hope these are the right buttons. Just kind of stop screwing around here a little bit. Oh my god, these are the worst! Okay. Well, that sucked. That was all for nothing, too. Perfect. I know that it's 1 a.m. game. Thank you. Oh my god, floor 10. I unlocked a thing. I don't know what it is. What did I do? What did I get? I got a prismatic shard. We gotta hurry, I guess. Hang on. Get that, whatever that is. This looks like a shortcut. This feels like a shortcut. Shortcut get. Okay, we did it. We unlocked the shortcut. And I didn't bring the teleport things on me, so we're probably about to drop our prismatic shard. And gone. We made it, though. Holy crap. Zan might be joining us today. I suppose it would be more accurate to say, hopefully Zan will join us today. Aw, thanks, honey. Hug. Okay, so we unlocked a shortcut. I don't know what it means. I don't know what it did, but we made progress. Was the important part. We actually progressed. Holy crap! How'd you sprout out in the dirt with a couple of parrots pulling gold out of your pockets? Thanks, Willie. Those are sisses. I'm going to leave those for her. Let's get a little more pocket change going while we're here. No, I remember, Russ. Okay. What am I looking for? Right. Get iridium. Ignore the cat completely. It's okay. We're ignoring the cat, but we have coffee. Toss the crab in there while we're at it. Don't care about this. I should probably go and toss the iridium in there too. I mean, do you mean to me or in general? Although I suppose those are similar questions. So I suppose I'll just answer both. Brands are very important, but you have to remember that brands aren't static either. About 20-ish years ago, you couldn't do better than Western Digital when it came to hard drive design, for example. Nowadays, Western Digital is just kind of the cheapo, not really that good, gonna fail you in 2 years kind of hard drive brand, which obviously has no purpose or use for me. So nowadays I go with Samsung, although that's mostly for SSDs. For the more long-term, like the major, the gargantuan storage drives I store all my VODs on, those are Seagate specifically, and so forth and so on. So it varies. You got to pay attention to trends, and you got to pay attention to hardware quality. 5 years ago, Elgato was garbage, but they're actually getting better in recent years. And AverMedia has been kind of just drifting. I think all of my SSDs, including my M.2s, are Samsungs right now. Pretty sure. My Savicom is also a Samsung. She doesn't come cheap, let me tell you what. Well, as time goes on, they get a little bit bigger, Bife. Like, for example, my original one was, I think, just like 2 terabytes. I believe the largest one I currently have is 14. Let's just check right now. Because I just switched over to a new archiving drive about a month ago. This one right here. How big are you? Sorry, 18. 18 terabytes. Look at all this garbage. This is completely unlike the stuff Savicom just sent me. She would never send me garbage. She's too nice for that. That's not true. She would send me garbage as a joke, but then she'd send me something nice to make up for the joke. Because she's nice like that. I absolutely suggest doing your homework, Act. I can give some recommendations, but I'm more... So if we're to look at computing in terms of availability... price, like this is the cheap budget stuff over here, versus quality, I'm more familiar with this end up here, because that's the stuff that I've stayed up to date on. I need the best parts for the best machine. There's a reason I call that thing back there the nuclear submarine. So, now I gotta actually see what Savicom donated for. Let's see. She says, I donated just to make you bow because I hate you. Wow. Hang on. Alex's thing has really been screwing this entire thing up. Well, either way, thank you, Savicom. Always appreciate. Let's see if I can understand what's going on with this message. So, I'm glad you've been enjoying Stardew Valley. It looks like we've got half towards Breath of Fire 3 and half towards Kingsfield 4. I mean, that's probably what most people need, Act. That's kind of why I mentioned that I'm not going to be super helpful on that, because I'm just not that familiar with the middle range, or the bottom range, for that matter. Interesting. I got a bunch of golden coconuts. 10? I don't have 10. You know, honestly, I don't have an answer to that. I have an EVGA right now. And, I have a backup EVGA. So I haven't really looked into it. Two hidden in Fire Mountain treasures. Okay. Unfortunately, I have a theory of what that means, but that would still only put me in 9. Always brand new. Always brand new. Used computer parts are their own thing, and something I would never trust. I already went over there. Anything over here? I guess that's 8. I mean, I've done budget computers before, but this is my job now, you know what I mean? Ignoring the obvious fact that it's a business expense, I can't really afford, you know, a screw-up with regards to hardware at this point. Especially since, generally speaking, I have to buy 2 of any given computer part to make sure I have minimal downtime if something breaks. Oh, I guess this is before that. So I thought I got that one, and that's because I did. Apparently that was a previous timeline. I do, Act. Like I said, I've got an EVGA and a backup EVGA. Oh, God, I did not even see that. These are interestingly hidden, I'll tell you what. She doesn't get breakfast, Savacom. Evil laughter. The cat's like, no, please. I won't waste away. I don't know if there's an actual psychological / like intellectual reason for it, but I love how many different pets will have that thing where they act like they've never been fed ever. There's no food. They left me to starve and die. Oh, it's a total act. So, yeah, Lord Dog. Can't think of her name for a second. Used to do that all the time. It's like, oh, God. I'm super dead. Please give me food. That poor turtle. So I don't have that problem act, so I'm not sure. 20 for that. Okay. A lot of junk in the way, though. Interesting. 20 for whatever that is. Interesting. Farm 2. Farm harder. And it costs 20 to plant stuff here, I guess. That doesn't make sense. It probably costs 20 in order to gain access to the house. I can probably just plant whatever the hell I want to here. Since I could do that. That's the way the game works. Oh, it's getting late already. What else we got? Okay. The hell are these things? They're mussels and walnuts. You know, the game's like, it's kind of late. Yeah, hang on. Don't you want to go to bed? Yeah. Oh, yeah, Firefly. And a wrecked ship. Perfect. It's a shame all the Junimos are gone. I could... Like, hey, could you fix this ship for me, please? I'd appreciate it. Thanks. Hello? Oh, a visitor. Come closer, child. No, I don't want to be eaten, thanks. I haven't had a visitor in many moons. Almost forgot what other people looked like. I suppose now you're here, I may as well ask you for a favor. Come. Have you seen that wrecked ship on the South Shore? My husband was the captain. Pirate, he was. He set sail one day, never to return. Took me 3 years sailing the high seas to find his remains. I've been here ever since, dear. Guarding his bones. My child, if I could only find a keepsake of his, it would bring me such peace. Wait here. Here, take this. It's an old photograph that washed up on shore. It's all I have to offer, but somehow I think it'll help you find what I see. Okay. That's extraordinarily creepy. Also, I'm not even going to question the fact that there's a pirate running around in a sailing ship in a world that has guns. And, you know, refrigeration. I mean, refrigeration is the big thing, if I'm being honest. Guns have been around for a long time. But fridges, those are pretty recent. We also have movies. Only the greatest walnut hunter's match are here. 16 of 100. 17 of 100. Thank you very much. Oh god, those are slimes. Don't mind me. You mean like the War of Truculence, Gumgum? You want 10 for whatever that is. I don't think I even have 10. Yeah, I don't. It's hard to see right now. I mean, the Empire wasn't even founded during the War of Truculence, so I guess that's kind of a cheating answer. So I suppose the answer to your question is no. Oh, hello. Okay, 10. What do you unlock? Is this a fast travel? Not the method of fast travel I was expecting. The hell, let's see if we can make it. Why not? It's a challenge now. Willie's like, what are you doing up this late? Look, shut up. I found some parrots. You found what? Why were parrots... Look, shut up. There's no way. There's no way. Hey, Grab Guard. Place your bets. Am I going to make it home in time? I don't think I am. There's no way in hell. Hey, Dr. Winter. Give me a second. I'll answer your question from earlier. Nope. Nope. That's officially a no. If I made it at 140, I might have made that, but... Yep. What do I think about the grindiness of friendship? I think it depends a little bit. One of the reasons that people tend to romance Abigail isn't just the fact that she's the preferred girl or whatever. It's extremely easy to raise reputation with her. And that's because of the style of how she's designed. her paths and a lot of the places she'll interact with are places you, the player, are going to go to all the time. By contrast, the wizard, Clint, Sandy are all completely out of the way, and therefore much more frustrating to grind. And that's my thoughts on that. Let's make some coconut wine. That sounds like good. I mean, like I said, plenty of people pick Abigail for reasons unrelated to that. But even if you're just playing the game normally and talking to people as you go, you will have more rep with certain people because of how often you interact with them. Because of the style and design of their routes and their positioning. Okay, I don't know if we'll do a Pokemon block. Pokemon are chill streams, but there is such a thing as too much chill stream, as this very game has shown. Like, I've actually been hemorrhaging viewers pretty badly as this kind of drags on and on and on. And, I've also been having issues with being frustrated with how long it's taken to do certain things. So, I probably won't actually combine all the Pokemon games to one. We'll probably deliberately spread those out. However, if you put a gun to my head and said, put them together, then it would just be the main games. Thank you, Paranoid Android. Always. Towards Alpha Centauri. And I will not say hello to Loner. No, it's okay. I do understand. Why are you leaving the shop? Clint, I need you to... You asshat! But no, we should have finished this game probably Tuesday at the latest. And the extra days have been just kind of spinning our wheels for various reasons, which I don't want to get into right now. So, that's on me. I suck. Kick where it hurts. But Clint doesn't have any balls! What do you mean, Dream Whisperer? Oh, we've had some good discussion, and a lot of it's going to be in the highlight reel. The highlight reel's over 4 hours right now, by the way. Very little of that... Oh, god damn it. Well, thank you for telling me, Rose. Very little of that has anything to do with the game that we're playing. It's mostly discussions about unrelated stuff. Does he like Jade? Wait, 1 second. I mean, this game is as long as you make it. We could just say we're done, and we could be done. I just want to, you know, not be done yet. Because I want to do my friggin' job. But what you're essentially asking me is, can a game like Civilization be too long? Now, the answer is yes. It depends entirely on how the 3 axes of the game work. Early game, mid-game, late game. Now, we've covered early game. It was okay. We covered middle game. It was actually one of the strongest parts of the game. And then we spun our wheels for 3 days. And now we're finally in late game, and so we can actually start judging late game and see what we think of it. So far, I'm actually liking late game. I haven't talked about it a lot, but the Ginger Island stuff feels more guided in a good way. It feels almost Metroidy. Not quite, but leaning in that direction. Hold on, let me give him this. Oh, I've already given a gift. Like, we enter there, there's only one path we could take. So we take that path. There's a bit of a cutscene, there's an interaction, and we get our first walnut. There's a little indicator that shows up for the walnut. It's like, okay, well, that's what a walnut is. We now know how that interacts. We give the walnut, we get the access, we go north. Once we go to the north area, we unlock several other things, including several new walnuts we can find, and of course the volcano. We successfully pushed the volcano, got access to the end of the volcano, and now we have access to the forge, which I need to go back and figure out what the hell the forge is at some point, which I'm probably going to do shortly here. I might also look that up, just to kind of speed this up a little bit here, because I don't know what to do with that thing. There we go. That's funny, because my first thought was Kent, but apparently the answer is to just give it to Kent. Go figure. Anyways, once that's unlocked, we can gain more walnuts. We don't automatically gain more walnuts, but we have access to more areas, which can give us more walnuts. With more walnuts, we can access the left area. The left area has even more stuff to unlock, including the quest we're currently on, as well as the fast travel thing we just unlocked, and so forth and so on. As we progress through, more stuff is blossoming out. Like, that's how I always describe a Metroidvania, a proper Metroidvania, is if you think about it like... This is so geeky. If you think about it like valves, you've got to think of the whole world as a series of pipes and basins. And at the beginning, the water's only filling this area. The water is the area you can reach and interact with. After a bit, you unlock something. Maybe you beat a boss, maybe you got a key, maybe you got some missiles. It doesn't matter. Now the water can fill out over here. Once you do some stuff over here, then the water can fill out here and here. And as you go, the array of accessible area slowly increases. And that's very much what the island feels like. Kent. Let's go talk to Kent. I'm not going to look up the rest of that quest, because apparently I was just right initially. I agree with Dream Whisperer. 57 up P. Very much agree. Hey, Kent. Have some PTSD. Where did you find this? This man, we fought together in the war, Laura. He was like a brother to me. But only one of us made it back. He never lost his courage, though, even in the face of death. A true hero. I'll never forget him. Thanks for bringing this. It means a lot to me. Here, take this. It's been sitting in the back of our cupboard for years, and we're never used it. Gourmet tomato salt. Well, that's it. No, that's going to Gus. That's going to Gus. We'll talk to Gus. I mean, who else is a chef in this town? Other than me. Well, folks, once again, we're gathered for a very special occasion. A rare visit from a very dear friend. My world-famous giant omelet. Zesty bell pepper, juicy tomato, rich mushroom, and tangy cheese, enrobed in a red blanket of rich fluffy egg. Dig in, folks. Willie, what do you think? It's interesting the group of people here for his omelet. So we've got Robin, which makes a degree of sense. Pam, because she's a regular. Willie, ditto. Lewis, he's the mayor. And Marnie, who is his date. Mushrooms are a tad chewier than last year. Is that a good thing? Aye. It's great, Gus. It tastes even better because it's on the house. These eggs are so rich and yellow. Marnie, are these from your place? Nope. You can thank Laura over at Runner Farm. Runner eggs. That's right, my eggs are better than yours, Lewis. That sharp smell. Slurp, slurp. That zesty taste, that gritty texture. It can only be the gourmet tomato salt. I'll trade you for it. You see the Stardew Valley Rose? Now we're playing a Zelda game. Okay, Rose. Caroline? Nope. Let me think about this for a second. So... Because Caroline has her own little garden thing. Is why I was thinking her. Leia, maybe? I'll try Leia. Do you have running water out here, Leia? Random question. Nope. Alright, who is it? Okay. I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't have guessed that. I mean, I would have just gone down the list at this point. Early game is done probably right about when you finish spring, but it kind of depends on your pace. Early game is done when you're no longer just trying to make ends meet. Like, that's true in just about any game. Early game is defined by you're still figuring things out, still figuring out your strategy. Even if you're a recurring player, you know, someone who's played the game many times, there's still an early game of when you're trying to just get yourself settled, get some position, get some territory, get some resources, whatever applies in the game in question. In this game, it would probably be getting your resource cycles going and getting to know the people, right? Mid-game is easier to define because mid-game is a natural extension of early game. Mid-game is when all of early game comes together, right? So, and I've explained this several times in several strategy games. If you think of each of these as a different spoke of content in early game, mid-game is when you start doing this, and you start actually combining things and managing all of the different things you had access to in the early game, and you're trying to do as many of them at once at the same time. In Civilization, you're not just building new towns anymore. You're building new towns, building new resources, getting your military going, getting your research tech going, trying to update your civ data, etc., etc., etc. You're trying to do everything, right? Stardew Valley Rose, that's so lovely. Thank you. Whenever I miss the valley, I smell this rose. Here, take this. It's been on the shelf for 10 years and no one's bought it. You can have it. Advanced TV remote. That's going to George. What do you want to bet? See you around, Ect. Yeah, no, we're giving that to George. So far, the only one I had trouble with was the rose. Watch, it's not going to be George. Yeah, Alpha Centauri has a very defined early game. Both Alpha Centauri and most of the Civ games tend to have what I call a foraging period, when you're just trying to scout out territory, figure out where the resources are, figure out where the worms are, in Alpha Centauri's case. And of course, trying to get those little pods in Alpha Centauri, or the villages in Civilization. So you push this button first? What's this button do? Wow, how about that? It's a new channel. Here, take this. It's a stone I found when I was a coal miner back in the day. Funny thing, it glowed blue and stayed cold for 40 years, like magic. Thanks for the Arctic Shard. Okay. My first thought is the dwarf. So we're going to try the dwarf. You can also see Krobus being this one, but we'll check it out. Now, late game is the tricky part. Honestly, late game design is pretty recent in terms of strategy games, because most strategy games don't actually have a late game. They have a, you get bored with the game and put it down, or you get bored with the game and push through to the end, and that's kind of your late game. Nope. Okay. Whoops, that's not what I meant to hit. I meant to hit this one. So we're going to try Krobus, then we're going to try the Wizard. And... honestly, I think that's all of my guesses, so that'll be our lot, then we'll look it up. But, like, Stellaris was one of the earliest games I saw that actually had a definitive late game. And its original vanilla late game was actually pretty bad. But it was a late game. It was there. There was actually something to it. As opposed to just being, hey, we're done with it. It's an Arctic Shard. That's a very rare magical item. I'd bring that to the Wizard if I were you. Okay. Thanks, Krobus. Might be too late. I guess we'll find out. Yeah, exactly, Paranoid Android. And, whoops, I went too far. And designing around that is something that strategy games, in general, of any variety, have kind of failed at for years at this point. Like I said, designing around late game is a modern concept, not an older one. Get out of the way! Hi. Poppy seeds. You're just mocking me at this point. SimCity is another good example of that. Most SimCity games, there's a very defined point at which it's like, yeah, no, you're done with the game. Ah, an Arctic Shard. Most powerful substance, indeed, and potently infused with the element of ice. I'll take it if you don't mind. You're still here. Oh, you want something? Take this. A wriggling worm. Thanks. Okay. Well, I can think of a lot of people who would like that, but we're going to try Willy first. Especially since he should be at the saloon right now. I think the wizard's dangerous. I think he's negligent, but a lot of wizards are like that, which is funny. That just became a wizarding trait. Oh, sorry, I forgot to finish my sentence. You can tell you're at the late game in SimCity when you're bored and you just start unleashing disasters on your own city. Hey, that's a perfect bait for a catfish I've been trying to catch. Hey, let me trade you this for it. I'm not sure what it is, but it washed up on the beach not too long ago. Don't tell me you could use it. A pirate's locket. Well, that's that. Let's see. Junk. Get rid of the junk. But trying to run over my wife here, don't mind me. Yeah, exactly. Paranoid Android. It's like, alright. Screw it. Usually what I would do is instead of unleashing the disasters, I would just put the game down and be like, yeah, I'm good. I'll come back to it later. Sometimes I'd show it to my friends. Because I've said this before, when we build stuff, we always like to share it, right? Check it out. Check out this castle I built in Minecraft. Or check out this factory I built, or whatever. We like to share that stuff. Thanks. I've been given an item of arcane significance. A jade. You ever get the feeling the wizard's just making it up as he goes and trying to act like he knows what he's doing? Just me? Okay. I should drop this off. I was just thinking, it's a good thing food doesn't go bad. Think about how many eggs I just have sitting in my coop right now. Probably a couple hundred. Just sitting there. So this is not my sister. I know you're expecting this to be sis, but it's actually Lore Reloaded, who's decided to call me in the middle of a stream. What's up, Lore Reloaded?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Did I call you while you're on a stream? Is that what you just said?
You did.
Oh, my apologies.
What's up?
I was going to ask you a question about something I saw in Prodigy. I just wanted you to know if wanted your opinion, if you thought it was something Chakotay would do, since you're the witch, you're like... Sure.
Okay, hit me.
Spoilers if anyone's listening right now. But,
Hold on, are you on your phone?
I am. Is it really bad?
It's pretty bad. Hang on, let me try to turn you up a little bit. There. Try again.
Is that better?
God, that's inconsistent. All right, hit me. So, Chakotay.
Okay, yeah, so spoilers for anyone who cares about anything. So, what happens is you have the Protostar that Chakotay was in command of. They were captured by an enemy.
Sorry, he was actually discussing spoilers for an episode that just came out. And there was some rewrite spoilers in there. And so I was like, you know what, let's just blanket mute this. Let's just cover this. So I'm guessing that's Klipschfand. I'm probably not saying that right at all, but either way, hi! Welcome to the stream, I guess. Or maybe you've been on the stream for a while. But thank you for the kind thoughts. It's always nice to know that I'm actually doing something right with regards to my job. Just one little thing. But yes, for those of you who are not aware, Lore Reloaded is actually a friend of mine. He's a pretty cool guy, and he also has a YouTube channel, which he's been slowly drifting out of, which is funny because if you know, a lot of YouTubers have been slowly drifting out of YouTube because YouTube is getting worse and worse by the year. But anyways, and he was just calling to talk about some Star Trek project stuff. He and I will be working together on the rewrite projects, including the Dialogue rewrite, and of course the Herculean task of doing the Star Trek rewrite sometime. So, okay, so upgrade tool. Oh no, hang on. First, we want to do process geodes. So let's see what these are. Golden walnut. Don't know what that is. Pineapple, apparently. And maple. Okay, what about these things? And I don't know what that is either. And we'll go ahead and process these while we're here. Good morning, Evo. We are ironically going to pause streaming for a bit soon because I need to get some scripting done and some projects done off camera. But we'll be coming back to streaming once I'm done with all that, obviously. Hopefully at least a couple of people will still be there to come back. Or, you know what I mean. Hopefully I won't have lost my entire viewer base during the break, is what I really mean. Dwarf Gadget. Yes, we've actually officially been in the new content, Evo. We went inside a volcano, barely made it to a forge. Still don't know what that is. We're going to go check that out today. Just doing a little cleanup because we just got a dwarf gadget, which I don't know what the heck that is. And then, right. And also, oh, I'm stupid. Damn it. All right, hang on. Well, the last Long Dark included recording the last of Star Trek, all 3 shows, as well as recording the World of Warcraft series and fixing the audit sheet and getting the video ruminations, the movie ruminations, excuse me, done. This Long Dark will involve a lot less than that. But yeah, I don't expect anyone will be back when we come back. I'm pretty sure I'll go back to streaming in however long, and I'll have 1 viewer. And that one person will be like, I remember you! It's been 83 years. I mean, that's true, Ross. I'm finally doing something other than ruminations. Yay! I mean, that's bad. Boo. Boo. Alright, let's upgrade the watering can next. Stone. Okay, hang on. But I'd rather have 1 viewer for a month or 0 viewers for a month. 1. That's an easy choice. That is true, Ross. I did want to finish Trek, which I did 2 years ago. So, I'm technically not completely 100% done because I still need people to vote for their top 3 and bottom 3 Star Trek episodes. As a reminder, that vote is currently ongoing. If anybody wants to participate, hint, hint. Actually, I realized that I don't, Ross. I covered Star Trek Beyond in a stream, and that's good enough. So, no, I'm good. I covered Trek. We're good. Plug that hole with that for right now. What did you end up making, Evo? Alright, let's go talk to this woman, see what we got. Right, hang on. So, you asked a question. Hang on. Hang on. Delete all of this crap. But I think the handshake with Snake and Helen 2 was the best scene in the game. I don't even remember that cutscene. I'm not trying to sound insulting. I legitimately don't remember that cutscene. I should probably mention I've only played Metal Gear Solid 2 all the way through once, ever. It was actually for the stream, or for a video, but you know, whatever. Well, that's funny because my Sylvari male is a necromancer, Evo, so I approve of this choice. Let's see. So, in RPGs, have there ever been evil companions you genuinely like? And if so, what sort of evil were they? So everyone would argue that Morrigan is the evil companion member in Dragon Age Origins, and if you are to use that definition, obviously I like Morrigan as a character. The type of evil she would be is what we usually refer to as selfish evil. AKA, she's out for herself, and that's kind of it. Past that, yeah, Magus over in Chrono Trigger, who is just kind of awesome and integrally tied into the main plot. The type of evil he is... I don't have my watering can. The type of evil he is that he is someone who... I would say he doesn't have a moral compass, is probably the easiest way to describe him. So he just kind of does whatever the hell he wants to, and to hell with the consequences. In fact, he's actually pretty stupid, as we'll talk about when we go through Chrono Trigger. Like, he is very much a short-term thinker, and it bites him in the ass hard constantly. Favorite tank in WoW? Ooh. Let me come back to that. I have a memento for you. It's his. Why does your hut look like a sad face? Still has his smell after all these years. That's kind of gross. That familiar putrid funk. You know, it's been a lonely life here, child, but I don't regret it at all. I'm doing right by my old man, and we'll be together again someday soon. I mean, you should probably live your life, lady. An old woman like me? I think it's too late, dear. Besides, I like it here. It's relaxing and beautiful, and I have an endless supply of fresh fish, oysters, and monkey meat. Gross. I'm kidding about the monkey meat. Now, how can I repay you for this? How about I teach you a special recipe? Something I discovered in my many years spent here. Learned how to craft fairy dust. You can take these, too. Though you're a stranger, you went out of your way to help an old lady. Bless your heart. My hut may be small, but it's more than enough for what I need. And best of all, I built it myself. Interesting. So what is fairy dust? Sprinkle on kegs, furnaces, and other refining equipment to instantly receive their product. Costs a diamond. Jesus. So hang on. Evil companion. I know what you're talking about there. Because we've talked about this. There's your token evil party member. And that's a very common thing, especially in BioWare games. We all know Viconia, or Viconia if you prefer, is one of everyone's favorite evil party members, but for all the wrong reasons. I think my actual answer to that is going to be HK-47. I know that's kind of the cliched answer, and I don't care. Because HK-47 is an awesome character, voiced by an awesome actor. And we've actually discussed at length what kind of villainy he is, what kind of evil he is. He is comedic evil. Someone who would be absolutely horrifying and frankly terrifying, if not for the fact that he's entirely being played for laughs. I do like knowing how to kill Jedis. It's very important in my line of work. I mean, essentially, yeah, Ross. Also, I think you misspoke, Loner. I think you meant Edwina. I'm actually struggling to come up with another one off the top of my head. It's actually really easy to kill a Jedi. That's the funny part. As it should be. You know what's funny is as I'm going through several of the games in my head, most of the evil party members are party members I don't care for. Usually don't have in my party. Like, Neverwinter Nights 2, there's Jackass McGee, I actually don't remember his name, and Idiot Twit Girl, the sorceress. Both of them suck. And have no real depth to them other than or, I am a prat. Actually, there is Fife. Bishop, that's his name, thank you. I mean, it deserves it, Retro Justice. I like this game quite a bit, as I'm sure the score shows, but what the crap. Yeah, Neverwinter Nights 2. In Neverwinter Nights 1, most of the party members weren't really memorable for me. Because there's Vanilla, in which case they're essentially there just to give you gameplay stats and have one quest chain each. There's the first expansion, which has Deacon, who is awesome. Then there's the second expansion, which has Deacon, who is awesome. And some other characters, too. Actually, that's not true. I remember the Cleric Lady, which I believe she was one of the vanilla companions, but if I'm remembering correctly, she returned for Hordes of the Underdark. Hordes of the Underdark, excuse me. As an aside, I dislike Bishop quite a bit. I still don't think he deserved the fate he got. But then again, I don't think anybody deserves that fate. Yeah. What really amuses me, so for those of you who were there, you know this, so forgive me for the repetition. But for those of you who weren't, we did a Neverwinter Nights lore run. It was quite a while ago, but it was a pretty good lore run. The thing is, as early as, like, Session 2, we were discussing how the system of the Afterlife works in the setting, and so naturally the wall came up. The wall then became the most talked about topic the entire lore run. Now, granted, it was kind of a Forgotten Realms lore run, not just a Neverwinter Nights lore run. But the thing that amuses me is the wall itself barely has any presence in the games. It shows up essentially as one brief cameo in Neverwinter Nights 2, in an expansion, excuse me, of Neverwinter Nights 2, way towards the end. That's it. But we couldn't stop talking about the wall. Day 6. I won't go hungry here. The waters are full of edible, nay, delicious fish. They even caught a stingray in the caves by the southeast shore. I haven't a clue what to do with it, though. The other day I even fished up a couple of golden walnuts. They seem to be all over the island. The local parrots go crazy for them. Day 14. After about half a month on the island, I've learned a thing or two about finding these golden nuts. One must keep their eyes peeled for subtle clues. If something looks unusual, there may be a hidden nut nearby. I noticed signs in the sand, signs in the leaves. I even saw a nut in a tree near the volcano. Only had a way of shooting it down. Whenever I've spotted a nut plant, I've always found a way to reach it. Well, no, the wall is something from Forgotten Realms, not from Neverwinter Nights. And that's kind of the point. To use an analogy, because I must use analogies, it's required by law, imagine for a moment that you have a story that happens to be set in China. And so it's going all over China, it's going over China, it's going over China, and then they happen to cross by the Great Wall of China. Now, they only go by it because it's not really relevant for their story, and then they move on from it as they move on to other things. But you can see why someone might be like, oh my god, the wall, and there's so much history to it, there's so much significance to it, that why people might just fixate on the wall, even though it only actually shows up for one brief iteration. How much does this cost? 10. Okay. What is this? This, what is the wall? So the wall, imagine a giant creeping mass of demonic fungus that people get shoved into and very, very, very slowly consumed and kind of like disseminated into it. It's a truly horrifically slow and terrible death. It's arguably one of the worst things that can happen to you in the entire setting. And you're just stuck there. You're just stuck in the wall as the fungus slowly grows into you. Oh, so much worse, Bleach of all, because this is all magical. This is part of the afterlife. So you get to stay there for a nice, long time as you're waiting for this wall to make its way through you. Eventually it does. Eventually you will be reduced into absolute nothingness, and you will suffer a permanent death. Now, you might think, well, what terrible, horrific punishment could be sufficient to warrant going to the wall? Not worshipping any of the deities. That's it. Now, in the interest of fairness, there's actually more to it than that. But that is the core reason. I think tomorrow we'll check out the Forge, see what's going on with that. Ironically, I think only one of my D&D characters ever has actually followed a particular deity. Bonus points if you could name the deity. Ilmater is a good guess. Mistra is a good guess. Tyr is a good guess. They're all wrong, but they're good guesses. Helm? Helm's a bit too neutral for me. Like, there's neutral and then there's Helm, you know? Helm's also a stoolie, so that's related. Asmodeus isn't a deity. Although I guess that's getting into technicalities, but still, no. Terrible guess. F minus minus. Okay, what do I still need to drop off? Geo thing. I think that's it. Yeah, okay. Elistre is actually a pretty good choice, too. Still no. I'm Forgotten Realms, Dr. Winter. I'm vaguely disappointed because the answer is Bahamut. Now you're probably thinking, how would I ever guess that? I mean, there's some reasons, but the reason you would have guessed that is because the D&D character I'm playing now, the one that I play every Thursday, is a follower of Bahamut. So you would have known that if you watched that D&D session. How many truffles are just lying around over there? I know they're late. I mean, they're late for me, too. I stay up late every Thursday to do those. Oh, wow, that thing finally blossomed a little bit. Look at all these truffles. Look at it. I've got truffles everywhere. Okay, so, getting back to your tanks. So let's see. We've got Druid Bear. We've got Paladin Prot. We've got Warrior Prot. Oop. We've got Demon Hunter, whatever it's called. And we've got Death Knight. I think it's Blood these days. I think. Yeah, I think it's Blood, because it used to be Frost. Of those, which do I prefer the most? Vengeance, that's it. I can never remember the spec names for Demon Hunter, which is funny, because my main is a Demon Hunter. But I'm just kind of running you around the circle, because the answer is Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter is the best class in the game. Possibly usurped by Evoker, but I haven't played Evoker yet. Demon Hunter is extraordinarily well designed. Demon Hunter is a perfect example of something I've talked about many, many times in terms of design, and that is simple is not bad. Simple is simple. Is there something else I was doing? No. Okay. In fact, I plan to make this comparison when we do the review of WoW. Demon Hunter is the Chrono Trigger of WoW. Demon Hunter tanks have tremendous mobility, lots of AoE options, and lots of ability to heal themselves. Not a lot of mitigation, but most of their survivalism tends to come from simply being able to out-heal the damage they're taking. And, of course, they put out a lot of deeps, which means they're killing things quicker, which means they're taking less damage overall. So, let's see what's going on with that forge, shall we? The volcano, please. No, and that's stupid, Gum. Five, huh? Yeah, I'll come back to that. Can afford it, but kind of saving. Okay, so this seems very safe. Hopefully, Evo, but I don't know. There's also a strange pyramid with a globe, and a bunch of people in a volcano, and Cthulhu. Okay, so place weapon or tool in the left slot. Place gemstone in the right slot. You can also combine two rings. And it costs cinder shards just to even use this. I don't actually have that many cinder shards. Interesting. Interesting. What about, like, the pickaxe? I don't know what that means. Well, thank you, Savacom. I think it did, too. Even though the timing was ironically bad. Since, like I said, I'm pretty sure I just lost any chance I ever had of increasing my viewership. But that's okay, that's okay, that's okay. No need to be greedy and all that. I don't know, do you think I should do it? Do you think I should make the question mark pickaxe? No, I know, Evo. And I am thankful for you guys. Really. Not just because of the fact that I'd be dead without you. Oh, screw it. Let's do it. Efficient. I don't know what that means. What the hell does efficient mean? Excuse me. If anybody's blindly loyal to me, stop it immediately. Nobody should be blindly loyal to anything or anyone. Loyalty, by definition, is something that should be earned. Well, ironically, I was going to explore more up here, but I don't have my hand right now, so I kind of can't. So we'll come back to that, I suppose. That's true, we did get Ross out of the MLP discriminations. Efficient. No energy drain. Interesting. There's one to give you infinite water, one to give you double chance of getting a double, or 50% chance to get a double item. Adds an extra fishing level. One extra power for pickaxe, 50%. Swifter. Excuse me, there's also the infinity weapons, which require a bunch of stuff I've never been heard of. And you can combine rings. Aw. No, Gum Gum. Trying to convince an ant it's an individual is pointless because it's an ant. Looks like you can add knockback to weapons, critical chance to weapons, weapon speed, critical hit damage, damage, and defense, basing on the which gem you use. You can use diamonds, amethysts, aquamarine, emeralds, jades, rubies, or topaz. Interesting. That still costs 10. Well, let's go pay a visit to the other bird and see if it gives us another hint. I'm not actually sure what to do next. I don't know, Savicom. I've seen how crazy you are. I can't explore anymore at the moment. Kind of walled in. I don't really have anything to farm. Which leaves fishing. Terrified look. That's debatable, Evo. But if you're paying attention, you notice I mentioned the main story quest pops up every so many levels. So technically, yes, there is a MSQ. It's just... One other problem they had is they used this weird style of doing cutscenes, which I really didn't like in vanilla. When it's raining, begin your quest to seek the fabled gem birds, 4 each day. 1 north, south, east, or west. Arrange their gifts upon my door. Okay. We'll come back to that. No, there's individual Zergs, just usually at the top. Oh! You bird friend? Yeah, a little bit. Please stop poking me. Seem good. She asked if you are a bird friend. I told her yes. How'd you end up here? Big storm. Waves. Lightning. Mother, father, swallowed by sea. I washed up on shore. No. That was just a dream, right? Aw. No, I was born here, just like all the other bird friends. Can't you tell? How old are you? Old? We don't think like that. We say, how many golden walnuts have you eaten? I've eaten 3,729 golden walnuts. Jesus. You just become an elder until you've eaten 10,000. I'll get there someday. Hey. I remember something. My name is Leo. I don't know, I kind of prefer Gao. When it rains, strange birds visit. I try to speak to them, but they fly away. I guess they don't want to be friends. Yeah, I'm still selling 2 hidden in the volcano. Place I don't want to go to. Oh, that's what that was. God, I even noticed that and didn't process that that was a walnut. I'm dumb. Alright, so. Could you teleport me to the farm, please? Please. Hi, Twister. Well, time to do the most dreaded thing in the entire game. Oh, jeez. Yep. That's about what I was expecting. I got an aquarium fish. I got another aquarium fish. Yeah, darn it. seem to have an infinite supply of mussels. So that's nice. You know, we were talking about all the different types of ways you can cook food earlier. How many different ways are there to prepare mussels? There can't be that many. Right? Yes and no, respectively, Gum Gum. It's just the rest of the stream, catching this one fish right here. Hi, Dark Day. Mussels marinara? I assume the mussels are in the marinara and are not part of the marinara. Honestly, because I haven't had to yet, Europe. Hmm. Now that I think about it, I'm not sure I've ever had cooked mussels. I'm probably mistaken, though. I mean, Dune and Warhammer are kind of the go-to for ridiculous numbers, although Foundation kind of drifts into that as well. I'm not sure anything's ever done 1 billion losses in one conflict. In one battle, excuse me. Except maybe Doctor Who. I guess if we're counting individual Zerglings, we could count that big. There's that one mission in Legacy of the Void, where there's a counter that's counting up the trillions of Zerg that are currently invading the planet you're on. Fun mission, by the way. Although, that doesn't mean anything, because it's a mission in StarCraft 2. Of course it's a fun mission. Name a bad mission in StarCraft 2. Okay, fine. I can't name a bad mission in StarCraft 2. we have a baby? No. No more babies. We're done with babies. I love how I can sell diamonds for less than wine, which... Actually, that makes sense. Yeah, no Lorsis, and I'm already kind of running dry on content to do on the new island. I mean, it's okay, but I think... If we count Skull Cavern, which we already have, I guess we're not counting Skull Cavern. I'm simultaneously impressed and not impressed. It's a weird place to be right now. I suppose I have a system for that. I could give a positive and a negative for late game. Ugh. As I say, at this point, our options are be done, or look up where all the golden walnuts are, because I'm kind of drawing on ideas. The forge seems pretty cool, admittedly. But I don't see the point of it, I guess is how I want to phrase that. The forge is probably the kind of thing that should have been available much earlier in the game. Because now it's like, well, I can do all these cool enchantments that I will never use. Yes, super final deadline. It's tomorrow, Evo. Yes, there will be an actual deadline, as there always is. It's not tomorrow. It's Friday. Wait, Friday is tomorrow. It's Saturday. There we go. The volcano is certainly interesting and substantially better designed than the cavern, I would say. But still just kind of serves as another place to hang out and, you know, do... Yeah, exactly, Russ. And it's just like... I admit most of my mind is just sitting here thinking, why bother? Maybe that's just me. I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is I feel the progression has broken down a little bit. There's still definitely progression, but it's kind of like... Well, I'm going to use a direct example, because we've actually covered a game that has this exact same problem before. Although not under the current review system. Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII has this weird problem, where all the cool stuff you don't actually get access to at all until the end of the game. Like, you've beaten the game, now here's some cool stuff. But it's like, without a New Game Plus vector or mechanism in place, and without any additional content, there's not really a lot of reason to actually bother. It's kind of just for its own sake. There is actually a ending. I looked up what it required. And I saw that it required fishing one of everything, and immediately gave up on that idea. Right, so let's see if we can find these voids. Oh, and for the record, we're not going for perfection. I'm pretty sure we could get a lot of perfection done, but we most assuredly cannot get all of it. And there's no point in trying if you can't do all of it. Just keep the train rolling on the ancient wine empire. So, I think I said this yesterday, Evo, but to reiterate, the class you pick doesn't really matter as much as the build you pick. Having said that, I do think Necromancer is a perfectly fine pick. In fact, I think everything except for Elementalist and Thief are perfectly good picks for, new player. Maybe it has to be in a specific order. Hang on, let's go reread that really quick. And yeah, I saw the walnut there. Oh, there's a bird. Bird. There's a topaz to the east. Okay. I should write that down. Topaz east. Favorite individual piece of lore from StarCraft? I would say the circumstances that led to the creation of the colonies in the Cthulhu sector in the first place. The prison ships, getting rid of undesirables off of Earth and the Earth colonies, and just kind of tossing them out there to form New Australia. Joking aside, it's a fascinating idea, especially since it was predominantly designed originally, in-universe, to just get rid of a whole lot of people in a way that was seen as more humane and more acceptable than just taking them all out back and shooting them. And of course, the unique politics of the circumstance led to the humans actually having a chance at making it work once they got there. Because if it was just a bunch of political dissidents, they'd probably have been screwed. But as political dissidents, and criminals, and people with genetic abnormalities, specifically those leaning towards psychic abilities. And all of that perfectly encapsulates why the Cthulhu sector's humans are the way that they are. And of course, it was millions upon millions upon millions of people, so nice big population base to get things started. Any good StarCraft books? The one by Timothy Zahn. I don't remember what it's called, forgive me, but I can recommend that one pretty immediately. Ironically, I wish that, it was made with a modern sense, and with everything in mind, and modern tech, so you could actually make the UED a completely separate faction, to accommodate for the fact that they are not the undesirables, and so, different stats, different units, different voice acting. Hello, sister. Who may or may not be there. I have lost my sister, everyone. Sorry.
I am muted.
Oh, there she is. She has returned to us once more. Hey.
Hi.
Hang on, let me... I don't know where else to check for these things. I move so slowly. I've gotten so spoiled by having the horse. Alright. Man, let's go check this. Evo says hi.
We have to. Is this like with the desert where we have to return home every night?
Well, I mean, that or you can just pass out here and pay the money for it. Pay the fee. So, north, south, east, west. Well, okay, well, let's do east.
Are you gonna send me an invite?
Nope. I've decided I'd rather die than play a video game with my sister.
Okay, then I'm gonna go get breakfast.
No, wait! You are going to have to give me one moment, though. So give me one moment, please.
You're good.
I have some interesting things to show you. Yeah, once we get 20 golden walnuts, we'll be able to sleep here, apparently. I need to figure out how to get up there. We'll do that in a minute. I must prioritize my sister. Let's get rid of that.
I'm going to beat this level.
Is your Tamagotchi still alive?
No. I gave up.
I was going to say, I think I've won our little race, sis.
Have you even started yours?
Nope, which means I've won.
Don't think that's how that works.
It's totally how that works. I haven't had my Tamagotchi die yet. You've had it die several times a day. Who wins when we compete? I'll let Sis answer that one.
I did answer.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
No one.
Yeah. That's a good answer.
Get something to eat. Because you still haven't sent me an invite.
I'm playing in single player mode, so I'm rushing home as fast as I can so I can
okay.
save. So I can restart a multiplayer, so I can send you the invite. I just slept. I am now exiting to desktop, or not desktop.
When you're playing in single player mode, you can, like, pause the game by opening a menu.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, like, you didn't have to rush home. You could have just shift-tabbed. It would have paused the game. Oh, but you couldn't send me an invite.
Yep.
Because it was single player.
Yep.
I think you can change it from single player to multiplayer in the...
It didn't give me the option. That was the first thing I tried. It's possible there is an option. It's just it didn't give me the option, so I assumed.
Multiplayer, babe. He was just playing the game in single player mode.
In Guilders 2, would I recommend leveling crafting? So, okay. If you're going to go for Ascended gear, which is the best gear in the game, or Legendary gear, you have to raise crafting. It is mandatory. Because most of the stuff is BOP, which means bind on pickup, which means the moment you craft it, it's yours, so you cannot trade for those items. However, if you're not going for Ascended gear or Legendary gear, stay away from crafting. It's terrible. So, some of your ancient berries or whatever sprouted, sis, I've left them alone because they're yours.
I mean, I bought them legitimately, so it wouldn't be cheating to get them.
Well, I mean, yeah, but they're yours, so I'm not going to steal your stuff. Okay. We have a... You can't have a Tamagotchi. We have a real pet. Is Ascended or Legendary gear necessary? I sure hope not, because I don't have any. That's not true. I actually have like 5 or 6 Ascended pieces and 1 Legendary. And I've been playing the game since it came out. But no, it's not necessary.
Cannot put legendary fruit in the thingy.
Casks? Or kegs? Whatever they are?
Yeah.
Wow. So you want Legendary stuff. What's the best way to go about leveling? Well, the first thing you do is you go to Google and you look up something. Because I don't remember where it is. Here it is. So what you do is you go to this website and you use that website, and that's the answer to your question. crafting in Guild Wars 2 is extensive and, frankly, not very well designed, if I might be so bold. And it involves a lot of make this to make this to make this to make this to make this. Like, for example, let's say you look at what is necessary to make your weapon, and it's like, oh, I just need 3 items. And the moment you see that, that's when you know how terrible it's going to be. What are you doing?
How to avoid salmon.
Congrats. You should come with me, though. Come with me, sis. Come with me. Join your brother.
Caught another one.
Yes, there should be 3 in there.
They repopulate. As long as there's 2.
Here, I'll let you take the horse. But join me. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you is head to the Joja Mart, okay?
Cutscene. Never mind. Slow loading.
Okay. See, which one? Although you've probably got a bunch queued.
Cool.
Okay. So this is the movies. I'm going to buy a movie ticket. And then I'm going to try to give it to you. Okay. Now I'm going to buy my own movie ticket. I wish to see a movie. I want to see a movie with my sister.
Nope.
Well, we're both here. But, weird. Oh, I can't order a snack because I didn't bring a guest! And we can't access the thing until we're done with the movie.
Crows and butterflies in here.
A lot of butterflies in here.
No, we are watching it together.
Okay, well, that's okay then. We're sitting as far apart as possible because we're brother and sister. My sister will attack me during movies.
I will not.
Mm-hmm.
I just get excited. There's
Exactly.
a difference.
Okay, fair.
Mysterium.
Ooh. Like, she'll be like, bah, 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 as she gets excited for scenes. It's really cute, actually. Anyways, you know my policy about asking questions, Evo. A variety of disjointed, otherworldly scenes play out. Okay. You must tell your friends to see Mysterium tonight, or I will visit you in your sleep. Okay. What do you think, sis?
Interesting.
Oh, the guy's still on the frickin' thing. Get off the thing. Get out of the way so I can play the Korean game. Ah. Kazrinthka, Evo.
What about Kaz?
She wants to ask about Kazrinthka.
Okay. What about Kaz?
It's a good question. Alright, so, whatever. That's the theater. So head to Willie's, please.
Apparently you have to be logged in to have Clint work on your axe.
That's weird.
I'm sure it has been several days. And he is sitting here saying that he is still working on my Iridium axe.
Oh, I get what you mean. Yeah, he's probably like, no, you've only been here 1 day. Wait, I lost my sister. Where is she? Oh.
There were worms.
I need to buy bait anyways.
Do you want
Okay.
a magic fruit?
No, don't give him one of those. Okay, so I'm gonna buy a ticket. I don't know if it counts for both of us.
No.
Okay, well, whatever. You might see a cutscene?
I am seeing a cutscene
Okay.
where he takes us to the new place.
Upcoming or next Dark Day? When Sun is angry, it feels good in the jungle. Sun can't find us beneath the leaves.
Oh, good lord. Like, we're really going places.
Mm-hmm. And then you wake up and you have to go to work at Joja Mart. That would be actually horrific. Okay, so the topaz is still there.
I'm guessing it does not do this every time.
No. That's why I'm already roaming around the island. Shelly Stones by Shore. I know where that is. Yeah, you wake up, you're in Joja Mart. There's a knife in front of you.
Oh,
And your
there's
character...
a farm over here. With a cabin.
Where are you at? Where'd you go?
Farm.
Ah. Yeah, so we need 20 nuts to do that. I think we have shared nuts for that. Do me a favor, walk up to this parrot by the cabin.
Sure. I'm getting mussels out of a geode. Okay.
There should be some nuts in there, too. If my clue today was correct. Okay, so walk up to the parrot, and there should be like a thing. He's like, "Rah!" And then in the upper left, a number should pop up. What's the number?
9.
Okay, so we are sharing nuts. Yay. So yeah, this used to be filled with debris. I've been clearing it.
Why is it wiggling? How do I get it?
I don't know. I tried that, too.
My pickaxe isn't strong enough.
Really?
I have a copper pickaxe.
Oh, right, because yours got deleted. Do you have your hoe on you?
Do?
Here, try to get this X. I don't remember if I've gotten it already. There's also some worms up here. I don't know how to get this guy. Maybe with a speed boost? Here, have some coffee.
Speed boost. No, I don't need. Oops.
It's a coffee. It gives you speed boost.
Alright, what am I trying to get?
The X and the worms. Okay, so that's nothing. Right here. Sis, no! Right here. Okay, looks like we already got that. I wasn't sure.
There's a fishy lady.
What does she say?
I don't know, there's a cutscene.
I was wondering why you just vanished. There's a couple of walnuts that I've seen. I just don't know how to reach. I wonder.
She's giving me a quest.
Really? That's interesting. Actually, you successfully spelled Kazrinthka there. So congratulations on that front.
Ten nuts now.
Yay. So that means we can unlock something. So we can unlock the quarry area, or we could try to save for the farmhouse.
Pirate. Captain.
Yeah. Yes, gigapudding. It's okay, they're made of gold, so they're secretly very nutritious. So did you finish the cutscene?
Yeah.
So Evo asks, the thing I wonder about Kazrinthka is when she went on the spatial trial, why couldn't she resist the compulsion to go on a killing spree? Did she fail a will save?
Yes.
Easy answer.
Only the greatest walnut hunters may enter. Where do we get walnuts from?
Everywhere. Here, maybe you can help me figure this out, because I've been
Ground?
running into the wall. No, here, come east one step.
Are they slimes?
No, they're all over the place. I also can barely see, because my ring of glow is nowhere near as big as your ring of glow.
Well, mine is the crafted one, so just make yourself one.
Yeah, I probably should. Yeah, we've totally got that at this point. Like iron and solar? Psh. Oh, you found one. Where'd you find one?
Killed a slime.
Oh. Cool. Did you kill any of the other slimes? Did you kill all the other slimes?
I did. What
You
is
see the
this?
fireflies. There's a firefly, Evo. Do you see it? They're all over the place.
Oh, this takes me places. No, thank you.
Yeah, that's our fast travel. I already unlocked that.
Apparently I'm stuck up here unless I go somewhere, so sure, let's go to the volcano.
Okay. Was there a single will save that determined that? I don't remember.
Fire spirit.
So, this volcano is pretty mean. Don't spend nuts there.
Okay, why not?
Because we're saving for the 20.
Well, then how do we get places?
Well, come up here. Come to where I am. And tell me how to go forward. I asked Pax this, too. He figured it out pretty quickly. There you go. See?
I can't get across. I'm stuck. There we go.
Yeah, these things hurt.
I need some candy.
New end game.
Fire.
Yep,
I'm guessing you need the slingshot to get those.
possibly. I'm gonna go up to the top of the volcano really quick while my sister's explorinating. Because we're both about to pass out. There's something I want to try. There's monkeys. Where'd you get that?
In a rock.
There's monkeys in the volcano. Just, whoops, I didn't. Oh! Looks like I can't make a platform up here. Okay. Well, that's what I wanted to know. Time to pass out in the volcano. Yeah. Bonk.
The little fire spirit is very worried. It came back when I started to fall asleep.
Z is sleeping in the volcano tonight. Honey, where were you? Yeah, I fell asleep in the volcano. What? Yeah, don't worry about it. Generally a bad thing, Zecteft. Generally against it for obvious reasons. Thanks, Billy. How come you're not dead? Well...
I'm not entirely certain. So what do I do with the sweet gem berry?
So you,
Besides put it in a chest that it doesn't belong
you
in.
can get a star drop from it. One of the only star drops in the game. They're very rare items. I'm not sure you never heard of them, Sis. Other than that, I believe... So, it's the other thing that's the best money in the game. Is just selling those seeds.
Kaz says you should take it to the secret woods.
That's the star drop I just mentioned.
Oh, well, then I'll just go back and put it where it doesn't belong.
That is a very viable solution to that situation. I'm gonna get rid of the grapes while I'm at it. Can there be a murderous Frenoi of their own free will? No. It's kind of built into them to be peaceful and like other people. Okay. Oh, wait, sister. Here is some food for Volcano Explorer. This is some of the best food for Volcano Explorer. It's really hard to come by, though, so take it and enjoys.
I have 110 candy.
It is built into them, Evo, yes. If you met a Frenoi who's actually murderous, well, then something is extremely wrong. There's not a lot of murderous people in general, but a murderous Frenoi is even worse. It's probably not even a Frenoin. It's probably a lie or a deceit. Like, it's one of those roll to deceit or roll to disbelieve situations, right? Surely that's just some kind of a trick. Oh, wow. I'm actually getting low on money for the first time.
What's this way?
I mean, that's the point, Evo. Their designer thought that would be funny. And fitting. Alright, so you already on the island? Sister?
I'm sorry, I'm shy today.
Yeah.
Leo.
Okay.
Wait, what?
I don't know what this is, or can be.
Taken by monsters in Fire Mountain.
I mean, that's true, Evo, but that's not what I meant. So there's monsters that drop them, is what that means, I think. Here, come here for a moment, real quick. I want your input on something. So you see that nut just above us up there?
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts on getting to? It looks like we need to come down, but I haven't been able to figure out. You're cute. If that works, I'm gonna laugh.
It didn't.
Okay. But I couldn't figure out a way to go down from here.
It might just be decorative.
Oh, for Christ's sakes, it's right here. Seriously? Thanks, sis.
You're welcome.
Okay, 7 more. Or 10 more. So do you want to unlock the quarry or the farm, sis?
The quarry.
Okay, well, come up here then. Nerf. I'll wait for you. Oh, wait. Let's take this straight. There we go. Why do you keep destroying the plants? Oh, you're actually harvesting it. So I guess that's ginger.
Well, that's funny. Sis.
This way. She was never heard from again.
Nothing?
I don't know what that is. Yeah, she's cosplaying as Link. Okay, so that's bone fragments. And that's bone. There's a lot of bones here. Little coconut. Flint opens those and gets walnuts sometimes. How's it taking a minute? I have an iridium pickaxe with infinite energy enchanted. Look at this. Okay. That does not want to go. That won't work. Well, sucks to be you then, buddy. Bye.
Can't chop down trees.
I'll do that. I think there's just maple, though. Yep. I like how you stole all the stuff from the tree because your vacuum is larger than mine. What's it called? Oh, Graveyard Keeper. Yeah, I've heard good stuff about Graveyard Keeper. In fact, a lot of people mentioned that when I was streaming a few days ago.
Get to that. Apparently I ran into a walnut.
Well, I guess that's it over here? Hmm.
Well, there's a cave up here.
I already... that leads into the volcano. I've been there already. And I don't know how to get this jackass out.
Need a bomb? Because
What do bombs require? Iron ore and coal. I don't have either of those. I'm pretty sure there's a romance element to Graveyard Keeper. Of course, Giga. I'm guessing that's the guy who works there, so we need a bomb. Well, okay. Real quick. Come over. I lost you. You keep teleporting around a bit for me. I'm also trying to figure out how to reach these two down here. That's probably something really obvious again, but you see him down there, right?
there's a bridge right there.
Well, you figure that out. I'm going to go get a bomb. I'm also going to look at this link from Giga. If it ever loads. I like it. Although you can't see his red hair. I still like it, though.
Found it.
That was fast.
There was a cave. Literally right there.
See, I can get the hard stuff, but the really easy stuff, that's just impossible. Can't do it. The question is, do his ears fluff up whenever he feels like he's being useful? Okay, so I need iron ore. And coal. And that thing. Oh, wow. Interesting. I am now an artisan, apparently. I feel like maybe I should have saved the 20 for the farm first. But whatever.
Full seeds. Oh, hi, little fire spirit.
Careful, those hurt like hell.
Trapping me.
I said those hurt like hell. Nobody listens to me. Alright. It's locked. I can't get back to you, sis. Oh, I have a bomb.
Oh, you went home to craft?
Mm-hmm. I didn't have any of the resources, so I had to.
Little fire spirit was our friend.
Yeah, I thought so too, and then he killed me. Like, actually killed me. I ended up restarting that day.
Pretty shiny. What's in this pretty shiny?
A wallet. Maybe.
A cinder shard.
Oh. Yeah, those are a currency for forging. The timing on that. Dark Day and Robostal are actually the same person. I think I finally have confirmation of that. I've been suspecting for a while now. this off. I guess that's it, actually, at the moment.
Got a journal scrap.
Which day is it?
Oh,
Read it.
I'm in the middle of a volcano.
Well, that's a bad place to be.
I got a magma carp.
Thank you, Dark Day. I will put that towards Dragon Quest XI. And thank you for being part of the show, Robostal. I put that towards AC Valhalla. Thank you, both of you. And happy holidays, both of you. Have a good remainder of your day. Or else. Now, Larian's not allowed to have a good remainder of their day. Okay, fine. Just this once. Just this once. Thank you, Larian. I will jot that down towards Horizon Forbidden West. Whoops. Did not mean to pick that up. I guess I'll go to sleep. There's no reason to take the penalty. You know, that honestly wouldn't surprise me, Dark Day. It'd explain a lot, too. That's one reason I'm glad to be as small as I am as a streamer. I don't have nearly as bad of a bot problem as the big streamers do, because bots are a plague. Like a really bad plague.
What's this do? Whoa! What is this?
And you passed out. What'd you find?
What looks like the top of the mountain.
Oh, yeah, that's the forge. We have a shortcut to that if you want to check it out quickly.
I passed out, so.
I know, but like today.
Ah.
Ooh, it's raining. So we can find some of the more... So there's a quest where these birds show up on the island when it's raining. And they specifically drop a gem, which we need.
Like, oh, they taught me how to make escargot. And... cool. I have a mummified bat.
Yeah, every single VOD I put up has about an average of 2 porn bots that have to be banned. Not super happy. And again, there's not really anything to be done about that. I just smack them down every time they pop up, and that's it. The real method to deal with that would be to have infinite power. And then just kind of teleport to the person who actually wrote the bot and runs the bots, and then just smack them. Stop it. Whack. And they're like, but, no. Whack. So it does, Evo. I've actually turned off all of those mechanisms as kind of a we'll see how things go thing.
Left you things in chests.
Thank you. I will probably find them at some point. I mean, I know, Larian. I know that I'm in the 0.01%. And that's not a joke. That's literally where I'm at in terms of streaming.
Disappointed that Kramus didn't come to my dreams.
Aw. That's right, because we saw Mystarium. And we didn't tell our friends to watch Mystarium. What are you doing?
Fishing. So how do you get the shinies when they're not on the edge?
Oh, you can still get them. You just go towards the edge and fish them up. Or not fish, pan them up. Okay, so let's process this golden coconut. Ah, I was hoping for a walnut. You got an axe! Oh, right, I was gonna buy iron. I need iron. 5 iron.
6 iron on me.
There, push it up. It's actually about how much money you make, Bella. Viewership, believe it or not, doesn't directly translate into money on Twitch any more than it does on YouTube.
You should go look in your chests.
Oh, Jesus, what did you do? Hang on.
I put things places.
No, the reason I call myself 0.01%, and that's not a made-up number, is because that's how much money I'm making on YouTube, on Twitch.
I need iron. Why do we not have any iron?
I just used the last of it. Sorry.
Walking now?
Yeah.
Look at your little shit walking around.
I know. So cute.
Ugh.
When you say chests, do you mean chests or fridges?
Outside.
Oh, that's... Okay, hang on. Oh, he's just racing around. Jeez Louise. What? He's calling me. Pre-recorded language. Message in a foreign language. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Clint, can I use your forge to make shit?
That'd be nice.
No.
Alright, what did you do with these chests? Oh my god. I'm gonna just pretend I never saw any of this. Just walk away.
There that you might need them.
Nope, nope, just walking away.
I put the journal entry in there.
I saw that. Actually, I'm taking some of this stuff.
Where are the smelty stuffs?
Down.
Ah, yeah, found them. My iron.
Oh my god, Evo. He's trying to kill me here. That's what that is. I guess that's day one again. Okay. I mean, honestly, and I don't mean this as a brag, it's more of a what the hell kind of a thing. I make a fairly large amount of money for how relatively small my viewer base is. I can successfully live on my own and have my own apartment. And that's significant. Like, I'm not being like, ugh. Why am I... Did you just take one of my iron bars?
I did.
Cool. An iron bar happen.
No. I'm using all the furnaces.
I felt... I need an iron bar.
I've got one. I'm holding it up in the air, but you're not here.
Oh, yeah, almost all of that is donations, not from Twitch directly. I do make a decent amount from subs, but most of what I make is from direct donations and from Patreon. Hi.
You gonna hit yes?
It took a long time to load, but I did, thank you. Now I can make a glowstone ring.
Coal.
Patreon takes 15% off the top.
No matter how big or little you are.
Yep. Twitch takes 50, and PayPal takes 1.5-ish. It's actually pretty variable.
Oh, I wonder if you can put ginger in the thing and make ginger beer.
I think we can. In fact, yeah, I think I have the recipe for ginger ale. Just subs, Bella. Ginger ale. Yep, it just takes ginger and sugar. Increases luck by 1. That's actually really good. But it requires ginger, and we don't have a lot of those, so I'm not gonna spend that
I
yet.
put a lot of gingers there.
I only have 3.
Did you look in all the chests outside?
Apparently not. Hang on, let's see what other chests we got going on here. Okay, there's some ginger. I have found more ginger. And a lot of other nonsense. None of this goes here. Okay. Don't care. Don't care. Don't care. No, exactly, Bella. That's, like I said, every now and again I just get weirded out by how well off I'm doing. And then the panic starts baking in, and you get the idea. You get the idea. Everything's cool. Everything's cool. Don't need this. Already have the bomb. All of that goes there. That goes to Good There, who's already closed. That goes to the island. That goes to the island. That's it for the moment. I think I'm going to give up on making crap happen for the time being. Is it the fact that it's so chaotic, Evo? I know. I wish it was more orderly and, like, rigid, structured lines. That would be amazing. Let's take the honey. I don't know how many of those flowers are counting for the honey. I don't think any of it is.
They have to be within a certain range.
Well, plus I think they have to be, like, farming flowers, not just decorative flowers.
Yes. They have to be flowers that you grow from seeds.
Yar. Throw the iridium in there. I've already... I've not. 2 identical paintings. Where? I don't see any identical paintings. Ah, no. No identical paintings. What I should do is just make that painting and just cover the wall in that one painting. Oh, Evo asks, is there an in-lore explanation why you can't physically function past 2 AM? No. It's a pure gameplay mechanic. Love me, Mr. Dwarf. Love me! Oh god, Leo's also a friendship thing, and I'm nowhere with him. I'm not committing to that.
So is the lady who, whose husband is out there.
I didn't see her as a friendship option.
Oh, no, she's not. Never mind.
Yeah.
I have 1 heart with Lore Boy.
Woohoo!
I have not even met the lady in the desert.
Sandy's, she's just hanging out, you know. Okay, so when I was saying how fortunate I am, I wasn't really e-begging. I was, I'm...
Can't open the chests. Did you lock? Oh god, there it went. Now to go to sleep.
I mean, that is absolutely not a line I would write, Zach Taft, but I could see Stark saying that.
Hey, babe. Yona brought this to me yesterday. Asking for a snack. And then I discovered that she ate the entire bag of peach gummies that I gave her instead of eating her lunch.
Well, yeah, she was hungry.
I didn't know she hadn't eaten lunch yet.
Thank you, Bella. Always. Always appreciate. Thank you so much. Happy holidays. I do hope you're having a good one, really. And we're splitting that up between... I'm sure here. Kingdom Hearts. And Guardians of the Galaxy. Hey, sis.
Yes.
Do me a favor and say thank you, Bella.
Thank you, Bella. Bree says hello.
The dog also says thank you.
She's trying to lick my face through the mic.
That's... Yep. Sounds about right. Game?
Yeah, mine's black.
Mine is too. Oh, there it goes.
Laura has gone to bed.
Took a minute, didn't it?
It did. I think you may need to, like, turn off and come back into it or something.
I mean, I can do that. Because, yeah, I noticed some lag earlier, too. And I don't have anything else going on, network-wise. Yep, sorry, Bella, you killed the game. It's okay, I don't blame you.
Oh, I should hit okay. Like, why is it advancing?
Well, so there's this thing called prompting. Under what circumstance would I drink coffee? I mean, if you put a gun to my head. Like, I don't like coffee, but I'll drink coffee rather than be shot.
Eve is tomorrow. I didn't know we had a Halloween.
Yeah, you can get the golden pumpkin. Not that we really have much of a use for it at this point. I have purple cheese. Yeah, no, tea has just kind of become a thing for me.
Speaking of which,
Yes?
one of your Christmas presents that I didn't know hadn't gone home with you, much less that it hadn't arrived, arrived yesterday.
Whoa! Perfect! So, last Sunday was Christmas, obviously, and we're doing gift distribution. It's fun and it's awesome. It's everything. My sister gives me like a couple of candies, which I still have one of, and the clock, which I've already shown off, and the Yoshi, which I've already shown off. And that's enough. I'm thankful. I don't even think to question it. I'm too busy trying to make sure to clean up and get the gifts to the kids and make sure everyone's happy and take pictures.
And then,
So then several days...
like the next day or whatever, and I'm talking to him. I'm like, "Oh, you left your blah," and he's like, "My what?" I'm like, "Your blah."
You didn't get me any other presents, sis.
I took all my presents home.
Yeah, what are you talking about? So apparently there's more presents. Speaking of which, kind of off topic, sis. Would it be okay if I stored a couple more things in the basement?
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Open up, Clint. Open up, Clint. No, I will not accept your smallmouth pass.
Oh, where's he going?
Oh, it's a Friday. So now that we've got the movie theater, he doesn't work on Fridays. I forgot about that.
Damn it, Clint. Have a fish. He apparently doesn't like fish. Well, I have no use for today.
So I'm gonna head to the island. I was raining. I was supposed to go yesterday. Ah, well. Honestly, my breathing has been kind of bad lately, but that's entirely because of this brand new thing. It's this wondrous, joyous thing I've started encountering. It's called... Oh, it's raining! It's raining. Sis, come to the island.
I'm coming.
It's called allergies. And, anyways. So I've got a bomb. But I'm gonna wait for Sis. I hope we can get the horse out here at some point somehow.
Says the man who left his wife alone with the children for 3.5 hours to go see it. I love you. My husband would like to know if you want to go see Avatar 2 with us.
No. Thank you, though. Although, when would this be?
Huh?
Alright, let's go up first. Sorry.
Here, have a candy. A cheat me!
Which I immediately delete.
Tornado. I gave it to you so we could run the same speed.
Must. Oh, there it is. What is it? What was it?
Aquamarine.
Okay, Aquamarine is north, then.
This is north.
So I'm gonna use a bomb, see if this breaks him out. It worked! Cutscene. Thank you, I thought I was done for. I've been stuck in this cave for months. How did you live?
Cave carrots.
One more cave mushroom salad, I would have gone off the deep end. Oh,
There you
rubbery. Ugh.
That's how he lived.
One second. Anyways, I'm Professor Snail. I've been conducting a survey of this island's flora and fauna for the last year. Truly a remarkable place. I think I'll go back to my tent and freshen up a little. I'm afraid I smell like mushrooms. Hey, you should stop by the tent sometime. An enterprising individual like yourself could be a major asset in my projects. Farewell. Okay. Oh, you missed one, sis. I got it. So let's see what we can do with this guy. Come in. Welcome to my field office. As you can see, it's quite empty. Getting stuck in that cave was a huge setback to my project. That's where you come in. I'm in the bone business, you see. Ancient bones in particular, and this island's full of them. So if you ever encounter any bones, fossils, or mummified specimens, bring them to my desk, okay? I'll make it worth your while.
So that's what we do with all the bone fragments.
I guess so. Can you turn into this guy?
I'm not there yet.
I'll wait for you.
Where is he?
The tent. Near the volcano.
Thank you. Give me a second, I'm fishing.
There is a bunch of new fish to catch out here. I've only caught like 3 of them.
Would you stop jumping?
Yeah, some of these are really irritating to grab. I think I have higher fishing skill than you. Oh, I just got a walnut. Nice. Oh, never mind. My fishing's only 8. That was higher.
I give up.
To the bone guy. Alright, what do we got here? So there's a survey. So donate. Oh, okay, so let's donate that. That. Interesting. But I don't... Like, what do I do with the bones? Does he have a reward for you? Whoops.
2 walnuts.
I mean, good. We need walnuts.
Did he have a reward for you?
Nope. I'm guessing you just... One of us gets the reward. Okay, so did you already see the... Oh, apparently we can't do the survey. Did you try to do the survey?
Yes.
Okay.
I failed.
I can guess that. So, but we can't do anything with just bones? Whatever, I suppose. I'm gonna hit the cave, see what was in there. Oh, there's a second bone cave. Or bone cave, wow. Mushroom cave.
Prismatic shard.
Ooh.
So what do I do with this prismatic shard?
Okay, so go to the top of the volcano, to the forge. I'll join you in a second. But...
Enough cinder shards.
Do I have any cinder shards? I only have 4. How many do you have?
None.
Well, shoot. We may need cinder shards to do more. Because, yeah, every enchantment requires cinder shards.
Oh, so you like enchant shit. Have you tried going down here? Do you have the key?
Yes. This, hi. So this is the end of the dungeon.
Ah.
So we shortcut it.
So you have to make it to the end of the dungeon.
Yeah.
Okay. How do I make it to the end of the dungeon?
We go through. From the front. Here, let me get it. I want to show off this thing. Behold the power! Yeah.
Oh, you can reach those.
Well, it doesn't hurt.
Reach it.
Golden nut. Yay. We're gonna try to kill him. I'll tank. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me down here. No! Don't look at her.
Killed him.
Yay. Honestly, the first thing that went through my mind when I started experiencing allergies was, oh god, something's gone wrong and my nose is broken again.
Yes, it was. I even warned him ahead of time.
Yeah.
I was like, hey,
She did. That's true.
this is a thing. Oh, Jesus.
I'll deal with it. I mean, you can join me. You have your galaxy sword now, right?
Uh-uh.
You should go get that. We have the prismatic shards.
I do.
I do not have a lot of food on me. I'm gonna eat the hash browns. Thanks, Penny.
What's to do with this aquamarine?
Hold on to it for right now. We'll put it into the slot later. Or we could do that now and give up on the volcano until we're more prepared. This. Run! So head to the east, because you're going to get there before me, and go through the jungle thing, and go through the hidden path to the right when you're in the jungle area. Not there, not there. Oh, you're teleporting, never mind.
Jungle.
I will also teleport to the jungle.
Hidden path.
Yep. I like how you see it immediately. So that was north, right? So Aquamarine. I'm going to check west to see if there's a bird on the west side. I don't think so. Near as I can tell, one only shows up per rainy day, but you never know. So I'm teleporting to the farm. Okay, it is one bird per rain. That's what I thought. But, I mean, it's observation. So you use...
Taking the boat back.
I mean, if you think you can make it, sis, go for it. I've given up.
Oh, I just wanted to see what it was like.
Ah. Yeah, I'm resigned to passing out here on the island. Again. At this point, it's kind of a cheaper tax, too. And I know what you're thinking, but I mean that literally. Like, I could spend the money to pass out here, and therefore gain a lot more time out on the island, or I could spend the time trying to get back and save the money.
Money is cheap.
At this point, it certainly is. I'm about to drop 15 more ancient seeds in like 3 days, too, so... Now I shall pass out on the beach.
I made it to my front step.
Wow. You missed it earlier. I made it to the bed, but not in the bed. Just right next to the bed.
Oh, that's funny. Hey, I can now make a recycling machine.
Whoa.
And I have level 6 combat. I can craft slime egg presses. What are your skills at?
10, 7, 9, 8, 5. I'm nowhere on combat.
I'm 9, 6, 7, 4, 6.
I don't understand why my mining is so low. Like, my farming's been 10 for ages, but my mining has just been crawling.
Seriously, Harvey, you're gonna have to stop charging me 1,000 gold.
So I decided to make money off of you. I mean, because that's what he means when he says that. Is there any use for these mussels we keep getting, or is that just, like, labor?
Cooking.
Because that sounds a lot like there's no use for those mussels.
Cooking. Okay. Fine.
Guess I need to hit Gunther's.
You can't.
Why not?
Festival.
Right. That also means we can't go to the island today.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna look up something really quick.
Oh, that's a duck. I like how the trees that I planted forever ago still haven't grown.
Well, yeah. Yeah, you want to just get the festival over with super quick. Or that. You know what? That's actually faster. I agree with that. Honey, you going to the festival? I'm tired.
Oy. Yes. Evelyn. Today is a Queen of Sauce day.
Oh my gosh. I haven't seen
And
one of those in forever.
And I do not have its artichoke dip, and I do not have it.
Ooh, I didn't either. Excellent. So anyways, time to go to Gunther's. Grab the iridium, like you do. I suppose technically the deadline would be when everyone has finished their lines, Evo, because that's technically the first time in which I will need all of them. Ideally, I would rather have portraits in place sometime in the middle of that procedure. But, eh. Oh, that's weird stuff over there. Dump those.
How many hearts do I have to be with the wizard to be able to get into the place?
It should be 2.
I have 3 with him, and I can't.
Hang on, I'll check. That's. It is 4.
Or
Yes.
you need to come to Leia's house.
Okay.
Her house is decorated for Halloween.
Hang on, I'm coming. I see a skeleton on her window outside.
And pumpkins.
Mm-hmm. It's locked! I can't get in.
I know, I can't either.
Still, that is cute. Well, part of the problem is I won't know the full list of characters until I finish the script. Which, you know, is on me. Okay. I mean, I'd rather you not burn yourself out in general, Evo. We here, the Lore Walkers, are okay with you not burning yourself out. Okay, to the island. And it's raining. Perfect. Oh, and there's the southern bird, which is Amethyst. I love it. This area is relatively tiny, but they still have a fast travel system. I mean, it's nice since, you know, I don't have my horse. Still don't know what that is. But of course, I don't have any bananas on me.
Pierre is apparently against divorced people.
What did he say?
He didn't say anything, but he doesn't have any more bouquets for sale.
Oh, well, I guess you don't really need this anymore. Removed from counter. Most of the pre-production work for the FF4 theater is actually already done, Blade of all. The production work has not started yet, though. I'm gonna have to record, and then I'm gonna have to write. And then there's gonna be a lot of direction. That'll be the big time consumer. Then we'll be ready for lines. Oh, no kidding, Bella. No kidding. Especially given how many delays there were. I will admit, I perfectly understand the probably completely internalized stress of having a delay in a project. Like, you're just like, no, it's actually coming out. I'm really working on it, I swear. Right? Like that mentality.
You seen the Gus cutscene giant omelet?
Mm-hmm. And we weren't invited. It's even worse. But yeah, like the FF9 theater, which stopped and started twice, and took 4 years to finish. I felt like I was like, no, it's really gonna happen, guys, I swear. We're actually gonna put it together. But no, I haven't done auditions yet. I don't do auditions until I'm basically ready to start taking lines immediately. But if you are thinking about...
In which case he just tells you.
Yeah, you're playing this character, sis. Here's your lines, here's your motivation, here's the mic, go.
Yes.
I've done that a couple of times with my sister. And then she ad-libbed something, and I had to rewrite the script a little bit. That's okay. It turned out good. We're up to 42 total. Right. If you're interested in auditioning, please be thinking about that and how you want to do your voice and all that. Because we will be doing auditions, and generally speaking, hello, I tend to go with whoever does the voice the best. I say generally speaking because it is still a community project, so getting as many people involved as possible is also a priority. So if you're absolutely terrible at a role, you know, it sucks. But if you're okay at a role and don't have another role, I might give it to you.
Teen nuts.
Which characters have lines? Oh, I have no idea. The main cast. Several of the bosses will probably have lines, like the 4 fiends. What'd you say, sis?
Train.
Hold on. So, this is not a complete list. But this is a partial cast list for the FF4 theater.
Have you had the train station wizard cutscene?
Yes. I, in fact, did that quest, and that was what got me access to the Witch's Hut. But anyways, that is a partial cast list. I don't consider that finalized, but it's a way to be thinking about roles.
So the train is not in the cutscene, but the sounds are still there.
That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
And the witch is loose.
Oh, congratulations, you just broke out the witch. Oh, on the... I thought I did, Russ, but we'll double check, did not. Never mind. Why did you visit the evil shrine? What are you doing? Wait, how do you get on the ship? How are you being... What are you doing? What evil are you accomplishing, sis?
Lots of evil.
But, like, what are you doing?
I erased Shane's memory.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's pretty evil.
Now I can build friendship with him again.
That... You monster.
What?
You monster!
Now he doesn't have to be haunted by the memories of, you know, being with a super rich, awesome wife who then divorced him for being a drunk. I figure this is good for everybody.
Okay. Just gonna let that one go.
I'm not evil. Server has closed the connection.
God damn it. No, it hasn't. I'm just roaming around on the island. It's about lunchtime anyways, though. Are you going to be coming back after lunch, sis?
Yes.
You don't have to. I just need to know.
Did I not tell you I was having
You super did
company
not.
yesterday?
So I don't want to sound like I'm blaming, but I just stood here spinning my wheels doing nothing for about... In fact, I played Guild Wars 2 and streamed that for about an hour and a half before I finally called you like, hey, are you coming back?
I thought I had told you that I wasn't going to be back. No, 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 no,
What
no, fuck.
Congrats, you found a star drop.
I lost my sword.
Oh my god. Go get your galaxy sword. Take a prismatic shard to the desert, go to the spot, get the thing. Don't think you can do it today, actually, but do it tomorrow. See, what's funny, Ventures, is the only member of our family who insists that they're evil is my niece.
Sleeping with your wife.
She's not evil.
Are we breaking or are we going to do one more day?
Let's do one more day. We need to get you your sword anyways.
Okay. Who are you on the phone with? Babe? Ah. I'm waiting for you to pass out. Could you hurry up?
I can only pass out so quickly. Trying to use the time efficiently, but I can only pass out so quickly. I think I got that spot, Russ, but as usual, I'll go double check. You mean here? No. You mean here. Which I have already gotten. Yeah, Shane would have passed out much more quickly. That's a good point. He's better at that than I am. And thunk. There we go. Should we have a baby? No! No more babies. Stop asking me to have a baby. He already has baby.
Your wife wants more children?
Yes. And she keeps being like, Lore, and I'm like, no.
Why not?
Okay, fine, we'll get a baby. Alright. Alright, Penny, let's go. Okay, we just made a baby. Which is kind of how that works in this setting. I want a baby, okay. Long.
Well, I mean, your son is walking now. So
I'm honestly still impressed by that.
it's winter.
Oh! Yes, so it is. The seasons have stopped mattering a little bit.
A little.
I mean, everything that I grow is in the greenhouse at this point. Or on the new island, speaking of which.
Enter the sewer and ask Krobus about the Dark Talisman. Okay. Hey!
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, fine. You and your daughter both, I swear.
Go build another stable so we can both have a horse.
I don't know what you're talking about, Eva. Alright, so. I might redo this day, so don't get too invested, sis. In fact, I've got a lot of dice rolls here, so we'll see how this goes. Ping to you, Space Cadet. Okay, so. Okay, good luck so far. At this point, I could probably take one loss, as long as I get most good.
Today is Krobus's birthday.
Do you have a gift for him? It's full
Yeah.
of mayonnaise. He loves white mayonnaise. Okay, so that's one failure. But only one failure. Got 7 more rolls to go.
Okay, my ex-husband has forgotten about me, so will you sell me a thing now?
I used literally in-universe described as evil magic to do an evil thing. Hi, Morganite.
Nope.
I think, do you have enough friendship with anybody else to do that?
Yeah.
Weird. No, we're not. The game is not modded. Just get out of the way. Come on, one more dice roll. We're having decent luck here. If this is fine, I'm going to live with it. I'll just go with it. We have 47. Yeah, do you like what I did with the farm, Morganite? Spent in basically a day terraforming the entire farm to look at like this. I'm really happy with it. Okay, so let's get all this stuff planted. Game. There you go. Game.
Oh.
I think I'll officially get rid of the coffee at this point. Nobody wants the coffee anyways. There we go. Perfect. Do you have anything growing in the greenhouse right now, sis?
Ancient fruit.
Okay. See, if that's it, then we're good. Because I'm getting to the point where I've got about half of it filled with ancient fruit. The heck is a taro root?
Those tubers that you get.
Oh, right. Yeah, that makes sense. So I'll do that real quick. And just for Savacom, I'll make some coffee. There. The rest of the coffee beans I'll throw away. But I'll make 1 cup of coffee. I also like how we've just kind of, well, I've just kind of stopped interacting with everybody. Because, you know, I maxed friendship with almost everybody.
The way you and Penny are horrible parents.
What do we do?
Your son, you just leave him alone in the house all day, every day.
He's fine. I'm going off to a tropical island to go hang out in a volcano. What's the issue here? He's old enough to take care of himself.
He just started walking like last week.
Exactly.
You left him alone before he could walk.
I mean, okay, fair. I mean, I like that mechanic because, you know, that's a gameplay convenience feature at that point. Okay, so we just need west? Yes, we just need west. That sounds like a writing prompt, Larian. So I'm going to toss that over to my sister, because she's a better writer than I am. Go, sis.
If you grew up in a city built in the ruins of an abandoned mega cruise ship, what do you think would be different about
I should look for the bird first.
Well, you need to tell me a little bit more about, like, is the mega cruise ship on land or is it in water? Like, that's the first thing. You know what I forgot to do today, Lorebro? Go get my sword.
The biggest weakness of the Star Wars Old Republic, politically, it is a gargantuan behemoth that tries to have a central federated government. Imagine the United States of America, except there's 7,000 states, which I think is actually lowballing it. Did you deliberately quit, sis?
No.
I don't know what's going on. I'm going to restart the game during the lunch break.
Yeah, I'm going to restart my entire computer.
Okay. And yeah, you say it's corrupt beyond belief, but that's kind of a byproduct of what I'm talking about. Like, any government, even one that is trying to be non-corrupt, that is that bloated. Hey, I got 5 walnuts, sis. Ooh, we should get the house out here. What do you think?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it then. Does the New Republic suffer the same weakness as the Old Republic? No. The New Republic is astonishingly more complex than the Old Republic, to be completely honest, in the EU. It's almost like it's designed to be an actual organization. It also is smaller in size and scope. Like, the Old Republic kind of branched the whole galaxy with a few provisos. The New Republic is a much smaller slice of the pie. Oh, this is a nice place. There's multiple beds here, sis.
Are you saying you don't want to sleep with your sister?
Look, all I'm saying is I'd rather die. There's also a kitchen and a fridge. Nice. All this crap. Okay. I think. What other... What? I don't know any other unlocks that we have access to right now. Is there one I'm missing, Russ? Because we got the dig site. We got the farm, which we just got. Oh, hello, you're new. You want 20. Okay, well, I withdraw the question. We have a new thing who wants 20 new walnuts. Well, there's 2 big reasons why the Galactic Empire never went after the Hutts. 1, they're not stupid, and 2, it's easier not to. So, you're a major nation. There's another nation nearby, and they kind of suck. And you kind of want them gone. You have the manpower, the tech, the resources, the per capita, the infrastructure, the personnel. You got what you need. But the thing is, that's going to take a long time, and it's going to be a slog, and it's going to be costly. Or, hang on, they could pay you tribute on a regular basis, either literally, as in just tribute missions, or metaphorically by constantly bribing you to keep operating. Which would you go for? I'm sleeping in the bed, yay! And by the bed, I mean the island bed. You should sleep over there, sis, so you can go get your desert sword, finally. Okay, so, after the lunch break, which will be about an hour, we'll be back and do more of this. Hopefully with more sis.